guys. How we doing? I was just listening to The Doors. Gosh, aren't they good? The Doors. Wow. How much longer was that instrumental solo? Oh, just another 5 minutes. Okay. And then we get back to those deep, profound, poetic lyrics of Jim Morrison. Come on, baby, light my fire. Come on, baby, light my fire. Try to set the night on fire. Wow. Oh, man, what a legend. Folks, how we all doing? Today is Friday. Believe it or not, I'm actually very happy to be here, even though you guys are killing my vibe a little bit. I'm not going to lie. Just a little bit. I'll get into why in just a moment. But first, you are watching live from the studio, the Daily Edition. I am your host, Jimmy Selesky. For those of you who are not new to the show, I don't know if you noticed this week I've kind of taken a little bit of a different tact on the Daily Show episodes. I've been trying to focus it more on like one specific thing each day. And I don't know, I kind of like that format. I kind of like the idea of making it like one episode per thing when possible. Just think it makes it more bite-sized, more, just better overall, easier to consume for the consumer. But, today, I kind of just want to kick back and do what we usually do on Twitter Tuesday, which is just kind of take a look around the internet, see what's going on, what people are talking about, and what we can talk about. And we're going to do just that. And where better to start on the internet than right here at home on the Live from the Studio Instagram page that is at LFTS Podcast on everything, especially Instagram. And this is a clip that I released yesterday. I believe Instagram calls them Reels. And people, I can't believe it. Of all the takes that I've had in my life, and I've had many takes. I do this about an hour a day, every day. And somehow, the thing that really got people's goats is me saying that, well, let me just play the clip. I do think that the dying prematurely thing really helps. Jim Morrison, have you ever actually listened to The Doors? They suck. I hate to be the one that says it, but The Doors suck. First of all, very good-looking guy, Jim Morrison. His voice sounds nothing like what you think it would. That's actually an example of the Mandela effect. Remembering that The Doors were good. Because that's a false memory. The Doors suck. How old were you when you realized that The Doors being good was the Mandela effect? The guy's sitting there. He looks like this, like, hot, skinny, Jimmy Page, what's it called, guy? And then you hear him say, oh, I was down. Oh, yeah. He sings like a 60-year-old. What was going on with that? I'm sorry. Mandela effect. You would not believe. I mean, you would not believe the public reception to that. I'm at like 100-something comments and counting. And like, I want to say less than 10% of them are positive. The weird thing is, and we've talked about this in the past on the show, negativity bias. And it's very important that you understand this just in general. And this kind of goes for a lot of things, not just if you are a content creator, but if you're just a person who exists at all on the internet, you need to understand negativity bias and what it is. Negativity bias is the idea that people aren't usually driven to react nearly as much when something strikes a positive chord with them as they are when something strikes a negative chord with them. And this concept has kind of been used by news media for decades. I mean, centuries, honestly, probably even millennia, if we're being honest, to try to stir up a reaction because they understand that you can get more people to react and therefore more traffic to your page or whatever it is that you're doing by getting people to respond negatively. You know, you walk into a restaurant, if you have a perfectly decent normal, satisfactory meal, you're not usually going to go onto the page and be like, hey, I went to this restaurant. The food was pretty good. I enjoyed it. 4.5 stars, whatever. But if like a server accidentally like charges you an extra Diet Coke, I went to this restaurant and I got the check and I was charged for 3 Diet Cokes when only 2 of us got drinks. It's that simple. People expect a certain level of like just normalcy. And when you match that level or even exceed it in most cases, they kind of it doesn't even register. But the moment you come up short in any way, people's fingers start flying. And the thing that's amazing is, in addition to the hundreds of comments on this video, we have like close to 100 likes as well. So people saw this video and liked it, but none of y'all are coming to bat for your boys, the LFTS crew. None of you are coming to bat for us in the comments. I'm over here fending off this person talking about my teeth. I'm fucking fending off this guy telling me I don't play an instrument. It's insane. All over Jim Morrison. I didn't realize the whole internet was fucking Jim Morrison. Dude, I noticed this. We talked about this before with Beyonce. There are just certain people that like, if you say anything, it's like on par with blasphemy. You can go online right now and say Jesus was a bitch. Nobody really bats an eye. But if I go on there and say Beyonce, I think she's won her fair share of Grammys. I don't know if it's necessarily her place or Jay-Z's place to complain about not winning more. I don't exactly think that Beyonce fits in the category of overlooked musical artists in the industry. I think that's quite the stretch. She might be, dare I say, a little bit overrated. And mind you, overrated doesn't mean bad. You can be good and still overrated. Overrated just means that people's opinion of you exceeds reality. So you could be like a 9 out of 10 good, but if everyone says you're a 10 out of 10 good, you are by definition overrated. Now, Jim Morrison, I'm sorry, gloves are off now. That clip was from an episode earlier in the week on the Mandela effect. And out of context, I guess it comes off as me just coming for Jim Morrison's throat. But in reality, that whole episode was just looking at different examples of Mandela effect in our lives. Snow White, Toy Story, Mickey Mouse, the Monopoly Man, and so on. And I kind of in passing was talking about how dying young does appear to really help, particularly musical artists, actors, really anybody in public eye. That includes, activists, things like that. It really does help cement you into like the legend status. I do think it's a lot harder to become a living legend than it is to become a dead legend. Paul McCartney, John Lennon is a good example of that. People like Paul McCartney. People love John Lennon. Why? Because John Lennon was shot and killed in the 60s. He was also, by many accounts, kind of a douche. Now, I'm not saying that means he deserved to be shot and killed, but we must acknowledge on some level that, Janis Joplin, Jim Morrison, Kurt Cobain, all these guys, I'm not going to throw Jimi Hendrix in there. He was really fucking good. But there's a lot of people in the quote-unquote 27 club. Oh, Amy Winehouse is another one I brought up on the episode. I'm not saying these people aren't good, other than Jim Morrison. I genuinely don't see what it is about the Doors. I genuinely don't see it. I'm not saying that my musical taste is the correct taste, but I do not think the Doors are very good. And my personal opinion is that I don't think most people would hold the doors in the category and the level that they are held by apparently everyone in the world, according to my comment section. I don't think that they would be in that place if Jim Morrison was still walking the earth today as like a 80-year-old man, saying he's going to leave Spotify if Joe Rogan is still on there, or whatever all those other people, Neil Young and Joni Mitchell and all them are doing from that era and that scene. If Jim Morrison was on there, this disinformation, maybe I would like him more now because his voice would match his age. Because that was one of the other criticisms I had of him. He was a 20-something-year-old guy that sang like a 60-year-old. I acknowledge he was very good looking. And yet people still were coming in the comments calling me ugly. Ugly. Really? Really? All right, guys. Suit yourselves. I came at some of you. I'm not going to lie. I pulled some punches on some of you. I don't like punching down. One girl really came for my throat, like I said, with the teeth thing, and I just kind of let it slide. I'm not going to get in a diss battle over appearances with a girl. I just feel like that's kind of distasteful. Personally, it would make me feel bad. I typed out a comment, a very subtle comment, but I deleted it because sometimes I post things and then I regret them, and it's not, if it doesn't feel good in my soul, it's not worth it. But anyway, enough about me. I'm sorry, guys. Look, you know what? I even had some people on there being like, this is the first time I've ever disagreed with you. Everybody gets one. We were due to disagree. Even the day ones at some point are going to not, think something I say is right. That's fine. I don't even agree with everything I say, a week later. I always agree with everything I say when I say it, though. So do not mistake when I post this clip like this, which a lot of people did, assume, oh, this is clickbait. You're just trying to be edgy. I'm not trying to be edgy, dude. That's a sentiment that I really, beyond a lot of things, that is one of the sentiments that I think is so delusionally narcissistic, is when people see someone say something that they don't agree with and assume that the only possible way that that person could think that or be saying that is simply to piss them off. The insinuation is, of course, that I have lived my entire life, had all my experiences, my friends, my family, my different jobs, my different hobbies, my different achievements and failures, and all those things. And I've done all those things, and it is led me to a place where I've done all of that just to piss you off. That's why I think what I think. I think what I think to piss you off, apparently. Not because I think what I think. No, it's because I just want to think what you don't think. So I don't see how that's not, megalomaniacal, wherever that one guy called me. I'm a megalomaniac. Can you believe it? I don't know. Yeah, but anyway, actually, enough about me. Let's hop into other relevant things. I'm seeing that there's a tornado brewing in Omaha. Omaha, hut, 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 hut. Omaha is in Nebraska. Might be one of the only things in Nebraska, but not anymore, because now there's also a tornado there. Nebraska, population 2. Omaha, and this tornado. Let's take a look at this. I can't believe these are real. Like, can you imagine that? Wow. You said it, buddy.
Semi's overturned up here. Hey, let's get up to the sky real quick. Yeah, let's go see.
These one of those tornado hunters?
I got the med kit in the car.
Tornado hunters. Dude, that is menacing. What are you doing driving?
Violent tornado, guys! Violent!
Holy, dude.
Oh, somebody got hit!
Holy shit, somebody got hit. Damn. Damn! That whole fucking truck.
Alright. Oh
Jesus Christ.
He's okay, right. He's okay.
Oh, he's good? Doesn't look good. I'm good.
It's good. He's alright.
Nothing to see here, guys. Nothing to see here, guys. Just got flipped over by the sky. We're good. Carry on. Just a 7,000 megaton truck blown over by the wind. Dude, when you see things like this, it's very easy to understand why people, like, not even that long ago, like a few hundred years ago, would see shit like this and be like, God is mad at us. God is angry. Like, imagine this is 3,000 years ago and you're witnessing that. I mean, yeah, lightning storms, obviously, like any of that stuff is just insane. And I'm from the East Coast. I don't think I've ever seen anywhere close to that. I don't think tornadoes really happen in Maryland. We've seen tornado warnings. I've seen a tornado warning. I growing up in Baltimore, I just assumed that's what a tornado was. Just a text that you get to your phone that says, "Warning, there's a tornado." I thought a tornado was a text, if not for video camera footage and pictures. But like people in the Midwest, this is like a once a year occurrence for them or something, right? Like this is like normal shit out there. And I was curious, I was like, what causes it? And so I took to the streets of YouTube and I found this video. So let's just briefly take a look at what exactly is a tornado. Or more so, why is a tornado?
Tornadoes usually develop on warm and humid days. As hot air rises and hits the cooler air above, moisture condenses into clouds. This process, occurring on a large scale, will eventually produce towering clouds and even a thunderstorm. But we also need wind shear, wind speed or direction that changes with height. For example, at the ground, the air is moving at one speed or direction, but above our heads, the air is flowing an entirely different way. In between, this creates horizontal rotation. When air rises quickly into a thunderstorm, known as the updraft, that rotation gets tilted vertically. As that spin gets stronger, the cloud base starts to lower, and sometimes a funnel becomes visible. This funnel cloud is made up of spinning water droplets from moisture getting continuously pulled into the storm. Once the funnel touches the ground, it becomes a tornado, kicking up dirt.
We're not in Kansas anymore, Toto.
Whoa! The tornado may last for a few seconds, or it can go on for miles.
For miles. It could last a few seconds or go on for miles, which is apparently a measure of time, just like seconds. Miles. You could have said minutes or hours or something. I don't know. I feel like that would have made more sense, but I understand why she's a little flustered. She's standing in front of a tornado. Okay, I'm not going to lie. That video did not really clear much up for me. That was, you know how like sometimes you see stuff happen in real life and you're like, I wonder why that is. And then you look it up and it's like a really simple explanation. It seems like a lot has to happen. There's like, basically what I gather from that is one wind goes this way, the other wind goes the other way, and this updraft is like, what do you want from me? So like the wind on the ground is going here. The wind on the sky is going here. And they're like, and so that causes like a rotational flow of wind in the middle. See, here's the middle. Here's the ground. Here's the sky. And you can see how that, but then there's another force, which is the air coming up from the condensation. Heat is rising. And so that hits the rotational flow like this and pushes it sideways. And now that's a lot. From the sounds of it, this should happen once every 4,000 years. It seems like a lot of pieces need to fall into place for this to be happening like every 6 months or however often it happens. I don't understand tornadoes. Lightning is something I just learned about like a couple months ago. I always knew lightning was a thing, but positive charge lightning strikes from the ground up, actually, and negative charge lightning strikes from the ground down, and it's actually the lightning that comes from the ground to the sky that is the most powerful. That's what's most likely to kill you. I also learned that the average lightning bolt is like this thick across. I think something like 6 inches or something like that. Like 6 inches across. Can you imagine that? A bolt of lightning 6 inches across. Now, my brother, when we were watching a lightning storm on our balcony when we still lived at the place, he was like, "How big do you think a lightning bolt is?" And neither one of us knew the answer. And whenever you get a question like that, you know it's going to be something obscenely big. So I think I said something like 6 feet. So it's probably like 6 feet. Like there's a bolt of lightning that's the width of me sideways, minus 2 inches. Coming down from the sky. No, it's 6 inches. And I guess once you've guessed 6 feet, 6 inches is like, oh, whew. Good. I was hoping it was, I was thinking it was going to be dangerous. No, a 6-inch bolt of electricity from the gods is going to fuck your day up, to say the least. Nature is unreal. I think, okay, lightning is one thing. We get lightning. Everybody gets that. Tornadoes, we've just discussed. I think tidal waves have got to be the scariest, right? I feel like tidal waves got to be the scariest. Like you get one of those, like, I just imagine sometimes when I'm at the beach looking out at the ocean and just imagining a wave the size of my hotel building just coming for the beach. And there's nothing you can do. That is terrifying. And that's a real thing. A monsoon, a typhoon. I don't know. There's like a billion names for all of it. Whatever. I hope all goes well for you guys in Nebraska, but it sounds like you got it under control. Trucks are flipping over. Guys are just like, just another day in Omaha. Sorry. Moving along. Nothing to see here, folks. For some reason, we have southern accents in Nebraska. Because the person doing my impression is ignorant to what we sound like in Nebraska. Sorry. I've never been. Yeah, that's nuts. Let's take a look at what else is going on in the world. This is pretty wild. This is everyone's favorite protest. Don't we just love this shit? This is an older white woman being arrested at these Gaza protests. I think this is at Columbia.
Get on the ground! I said go! Oh my God! You're a rabid dog! Oh my God! Give me some cops! My head! You just hit my head! On the concrete! Oh my God! Oh my God! You people are fascists! You are Hitler! You are a rabid dog! Shame on you! May you never live another day! I am a professor! This is an Emory professor, everyone! I am a professor of economics! You are rabid dogs! You are fascists!
It was a peaceful protest until they started fighting troopers. I agree with you.
L-I-N! I reacted impulsively. I apologize.
No, you're right. It's right to rebel. I'm gonna share this.
Please remove the handcuffs.
The cops like, hold on, did you say you were going to share this? All right, unarrest her. Unarrest her. That's how the law works. I'm personally this brings me such joy. I'm glad that it's like a older white woman too, because now I can truly speak freely on this. A lot of times when these types of arrests are brought to our attention, I kind of feel like I'm in a corner because if I say anything, I'm clearly saying it because they're black or Latino or whatever. This is a middle-aged white woman. She's a professor, which she screams loudly. I'm a professor! How could you treat a professor this way? So you see the cause here. They're arresting some other douche. What is with the masks, too? What is with the masks, guys? We get it. We get it. Isn't it kind of ironic that the only people that are still wearing masks, I guess it's for COVID, or at least that's the surface reason. That's the pretext. We're doing this because we're just so aware of COVID in 2024, almost, 3.5 years after the height of the pandemic and still more than 3 years after we've had vaccines available. But they still wear COVID and wear COVID masks. And I find it especially ironic because the only people that are still wearing masks for COVID are the people that have been vaccinated minimum 5 or 6 times. Doesn't that make you anti-vax? Like, if there's anyone who deeply holds the belief that the vaccine doesn't work, it's got to be the people that are still scared of COVID to the point that they're still wearing masks in 2024. If anything, I'm way more pro-vax than you. And some guy who maybe did actually get vaccinated and doesn't wear a mask anymore because he's like, I got vaccinated. That we're good, right? I believe in the vaccine. I should be. No, these people are like, the vaccine is safe and effective. And where's my mask? Holy shit, I don't want to get COVID. What is going on with that? I'm starting to think that maybe it's not about COVID at all. I know this is a hot, deep, unheard of take, but it almost seems like at this point, the COVID mask is a signal of loyalty to one specific ideology. Kind of just letting people know, hey, I'm this type of person. I'm a good person. I'm still wearing a mask. And I've had all 7 of my boosters. I'm just a little pin cushion for Big Pharma, and I'm proud of it. And I'm still wearing a mask. And if I didn't know any better, I would almost think that the mask was always about that. Gee whiz. Could it be? Could it be that the same people wearing masks now were wearing it for this exact same reason 3 years ago? Could it be that when you would walk into a restaurant with a mask on, then walk to your table with a mask on, then sit down, proceed to drink a bunch of beers and shots with your friends with no mask on, and then pop it back on just to take a walk to the bathroom and back, and then go back to sitting down in a restaurant, drinking more, talking to more people with your mask off? Could it be that it was never really about spreading the virus? I'm no scientist, I'm no epidemiologist, but I feel like, I don't know if there's a major difference between like when you're sitting down and when you're standing up. Maybe I'm wrong about that. Perhaps COVID lives here. And so when you're at a restaurant, you're eating, you're good. I'm good. You can't get me COVID. COVID sitting, let me at him. And you're just like, yeah, so anyway, I went out with Shirley the other day, and it was just a great time. We talked, and COVID's just up there just, I can't wait till he stands up. You better stand up. And you're like, yeah, so anyway, yeah. You know what? I think I'm going to go to the bathroom. Hold up 1 second. And the COVID's like, no, don't do it. Don't do it. Don't do it. And you're like, okay, yeah, I'll be right back. No, he put the mask on. How are we going to infect him if he puts the mask on every time he stands up? This is ridiculous. Why couldn't the Chinese scientists who definitely didn't synthesize us in a lab program us to be able to infect people lower than 4 feet to the ground? What a massive oversight on that pangolin bat soup. What was all that? So stupid. Anyway, it was stupid then, and it's stupid now. some things never change. So I guess now the mask means I support Palestine. That's what the mask means, by the way. I'm gathering. What the hell's going on? Oh, there we go. But anyway, yeah, so you see here, this respectable gentleman is getting arrested, and then this woman's like, hold up, one moment. Just a moment, sir. I am an older white woman, and this will not stand. And then
Get on the ground! I said go!
sick move. Sick move.
Give me some cops!
I'm sorry, I don't care. I don't feel any type of way about this. If that happened to me, nobody would care. Especially if everybody in the crowd heard my take on Jim Morrison. They'd be like, good, arrest that man. He doesn't like the Doors. I mean, look, here's really the point. Again, I'm glad we're here. What exactly? I want to know. Genuinely. Write me a letter at the show. Email us, lftspodcast@gmail.com. Leave a comment in the video. That's probably the best way. Let me know what you think or what these people think happens when a cop is attempting to place you under arrest and you don't allow it. In your world, what happens? In your world, do we live in a society where, let's say you get pulled over and the cop is like, you have any idea why you were pulled over? And you're like, no idea. It's like, well, you were doing 60 in a 35. And you're like, no, I wasn't. And the cop's like, license and registration, please. And you're like, no, because I wasn't doing 60 in a 35. And the cop's like, are you sure? Yeah, I'm pretty sure I would know. I'm looking at the speedometer right in front of me, and I definitely wasn't speeding. And the cop's like, all right, you're free to go. Sorry for wasting your time, sir, ma'am, whatever. Sorry. What society is that? Where I guess if you just put up enough of a fight against the cops, you're free to go. This man was killed over a traffic stop. I guarantee you he wasn't. With almost 100% certainty, I promise you, he was not shot for not signaling a lane switch or a taillight being out. I promise you. Something tells me some other things happened in between the non-blinker and the shooting. Just a hunch that always happens to be true all the time. Anchorman style. 100% of the time, it's true every time. And in this scenario, the same thing. Like, it's all like, again, if I'm in a crowd and I do something, let's say I interfere with the arrest of someone else. I jump in and I'm like, you're arresting him. And the cop's like, I know. I'm literally doing this right now. I know what I'm doing. And then you try to like interfere with that or obstruct it in any way. And the cop is like, you know what? Come here. You're under arrest. And you're like, no, I'm not. I'm actually not. Oh, you didn't know? I'm not under arrest. See, I can't be arrested. I'm a professor. Okay, well, professor, you're under arrest. What? And then you get arrested. And then, inevitably, when 7 other freaking losers are filming it, you will then be able to say, look, this is the reason I was arrested. I wasn't doing anything. This is stupid. And then it'll get thrown out. Or if it was unjustified, then that'll be handled later. But in the moment, what do you think is the alternative to being arrested? You cannot have a society. You really can't. Now, I understand that there is a limit to this. And we'll talk about that in a moment. But you can't have a relationship between the police and the citizens where the police are only going to enforce the law in so much as it doesn't inconvenience you. like if you give them enough of a hard time, you're free to go. I've seen that work with parking tickets, actually. They say, this is a fun little thing to remember. I'm not saying it's going to work. It's only ever, I've never really even tried it other than this like 1 or 2 times, but one time it did work because I wasn't lying. It was true. I was trying to get some Indian food in Towson, believe it or not, Kathmandu Kitchen. And I was trying to park behind the store, and there was a giant 18-wheeler on this back street, I guess unloading some stuff, and I was just kind of stuck there. I couldn't go forward. I couldn't back out because there was like cars behind me. So I'm just sitting in this back road, just waiting for this truck to move. So I go, all right, whatever. Instead of just sitting here like an asshole, there's a parking spot right next to me. I'll park my car there. I'll walk in, pick up my food, walk out. By the time I get out, hopefully the truck will be gone and then I can move. And so I do that, walk back from the store to where my car is. Truck's gone, and there's a lady writing me a ticket. And I'm like, you didn't just see the truck there? I couldn't move. I couldn't go anywhere. I had to walk like 2 blocks to get my food, and now I'm back because it was either that or just, whatever. And she was like, well, I already wrote it. I can't unwrite. I'm like, really? Really? Come on, man. What else was I supposed to do? There were cars behind me. I couldn't back out. I was just stuck there. I just decided to park my car, walked there and back real quick. You can see I have my food. I'm not lying. This is what happened. And she was like, well, nothing I can do. And I was like, well, all right, whatever. You know what? I'm not going to bug you anymore. I guess I'll just do this in court or whatever. I'll fight it in court. And the second I said that was the magic words. That was like open sesame. That was like when you say something in Latin to a stone tablet. Just something happened. Something changed. The second I said that I was going to fight this in court, and she was like, you know what? I don't even feel like dealing with all that. Here, you know what? Never mind. You're free to go. So you can void a ticket after you've written it, eh? No, she didn't want to have to show up in court. And so she just voided the ticket. Something that I have been told since the dawn of time, we've all been told, is not possible. But I'm here to tell you it certainly is. And I'm not that type of guy. I'm not going to fight the cops. Not that a meter maid is a cop. Sorry, meter person. This particular meter person happened to be a maiden. I'm not going to fight you on anything if I was in the wrong. Like if I'm speeding and I get pulled over for speeding, you got me. I'm not, what? Actually, the Constitution says under Article 3, Section 4, thou shalt not administer a ticket in the case of whatever. Citing case law and shit to some fucking beat cop. I'm not doing that. All right? I was speeding. You caught me speeding. Hopefully you give me a warning. And if not, there's no one to blame but myself. But if by some circumstances you pull me over for something that I don't think is a pull-overable offense, I've been known to have a little back and forth with the cops, especially the older you get. Because now I'm getting to the age where I'm starting to become older than a lot of the people that pull me over. I'm 31 now. A lot of the people that pull me over are younger than me. I'm like, what are you pulling me over for? Shouldn't you be in school? Don't you have class to get to? I'm a grown man. All right? I fucking, you're blocking the road. I went around you. Now you're going to pull me over for going around you? Why the hell are you blocking the road? Why are you pulling people over in a one lane, blocking the whole street? And then if I go around, I got to wait till this traffic stop is done? I just got to sit here and wait? No. And in that circumstance, I got in a little back and forth with the cop. She was a girl. Not that matters. And I decided to take it to court because I thought she was in the wrong. She pulled somebody over for a minor traffic stop, blocking a crosswalk right in the middle of the Towson Circle. There's no way to get out of the circle other than to take the incoming traffic way. Otherwise, I would have had to go 6 blocks in the other direction. I'm thinking, like, I hate when people pull over in the middle of the road. Pull off to the side. No traffic stop is that. If you're pulling over Colombo, if you're pulling over El Chapo, okay, stop them in the middle of the road, interrupt traffic. But the gall of these cops, I know this started out pro cop and now I'm shitting on cops. Whatever. I'm an objective person, especially on Fridays. But the gall of these cops to get somebody for, like, I don't know, going 10 over, 11 over, and then stopping them in the middle of a main thoroughfare, impeding traffic. The whole concept of pulling someone over is that you're driving, whatever you're doing is some sort of danger to others around you. Speeding, reckless driving, not signaling turns, taillights being out, whatever it may be, DUI, whatever it may be. You're getting a ticket or worse because whatever you were just doing could have caused harm to someone else. But at the point when the situation you have created by pulling me over is now causing more danger to those around us because I'm blocking traffic, forcing people to go around and all this other stuff, at the point which my going 11 miles per hour over the speed limit is superseded in terms of how much danger that was causing by the situation we have now created for you to give me a ticket, it is stupid. And I will let you know that. But as always, I understand that at the end of the day, this isn't a battle that you're going to win in that moment. I know I'm going to get a ticket. She opened the gate. She said, "Do you have any questions?" I said, "Yeah, I got a lot of questions." And I let her have the questions. And we got in a little back and forth. And at the end of the day, boom, took it to court. She didn't show up. Why? Because I was right. And I took the time of letting her know that I was right then and there, so she didn't have to bother showing up to court. And that's a story I've told on the podcast before. But anyway, back to the point at hand. The moral of that story is even in that situation, again, the understanding is that if a cop wants to pull you over or a cop wants to place you under arrest, you are getting arrested. That's your choices. Get arrested or get arrested harder. That's really it. Otherwise, you can, like, sprint away if you manage to get away from them and then sprint, and then you get arrested way, way harder when there's a warrant for your arrest, and they come and get you later. So 3 options. Get arrested now harder, or get arrested later really hard. It's pretty cut and dry. Just get the cuffs on. I don't care if you're a professor. I don't care if you're a Palestinian. I don't care if you're a Jew. I don't care who you are. I don't care if you're me. Just take the arrest. Take the L, dude. Take the L. And that's all I have to say about that. I'm not going to get back into the whole protest thing. I had a whole episode on that yesterday. What else is going on here? Let's do something positive. This is nice. So this is like impressive. This is a father and son kind of like play fighting. Or maybe the son really thinks he is fighting. They obviously watch wrestling. And it shows.
Randy Orton. Oh my God, Randy Orton in the corner. Big Show's prone here. Big Show prone. And Randy Orton.
Like, that's awesome.
The distraction.
He DDTs him.
Randy Orton undercame. Oh, Big Show. As Big Show was staring at the authorities.
He gets on the ropes.
Yeah, but can Randy Orton capitalize on it? Can he cover the Big Show? What an incredible.
And then he does this, which looks dangerous. This could end badly. Boom! That's awesome. That's great. I love seeing that. Reminds me of when I used to beat my father's ass when I was a kid. I always wondered what the proper protocol is for when you're play fighting your kid. Is letting them win all the time the move? I kind of don't think so, right? You don't want your son to think you're a bitch. I think it's kind of like with a dog, right? Like when you're playing tug of war with a dog, sometimes you have to win. Or else your dog's going to be like, dude, you think I'm going to listen? Dog's talking to his other dog friends. He's like, oh, you listen to your owner? I don't listen to my owner ever. Dude, anytime I want the rope, he can't even stop me. My owner is bitch made. Hey, Scruffy, get inside. Yeah, I'll get inside when I want to. So anyway, I was saying, yeah, what's he going to do? What's he going to do? He's never beaten me once. No, you gotta beat your dog sometimes. Don't take that out of context. You have to beat them in tug of war sometimes, or other methods, wrestling, wrestle your dog. You gotta wrestle your dog. But you also don't want to kill their self-esteem. You don't want to, always beat them, because then you have some beta dog that's like talking to his friends. Like, oh, whatever you want, man. Sure. I've never won a game of tug of war. I'm worthless. So you want to keep it in the middle. And I think it goes the same with your kids. Kids are very much like dogs. See, it sounds weird when you say it that way, but I've known plenty of people to say dogs are very much like kids, and that doesn't seem to bat anyone's eyes at all. No, I don't think kids are exactly like dogs, but in the context of this conversation, I think the same rules apply when it comes to play fighting. Like, you want to make it a good fight, but again, you don't want to just kind of roll over for your son when he's 3, because then your 3-year-old son's like, dude, this is the guy that's supposed to protect me? I just beat his ass. I just got on the dresser and pinned him. I just DDT'd my dad, and he's the one protecting the family? I don't think so. And then you get to an age where, I would imagine, I don't think this is ever going to happen to me, but it happens to most dads when the son winds up beating their ass. My son will never be able to beat my ass. I'm just kidding. Hopefully my son will be able to beat my ass, and hopefully that will be after he's moved out. In fact, Bill Maher, new rule. No man should be living in your house that is capable of beating your ass. Is that fair? The second your son can kick your ass, if you're a dad, he's got to move out. He's got to move out. I moved out probably, I think, when I was 21. And I don't know how many, to be honest, in a straight up fight, I knew I could beat my dad in wrestling out of high school. Like, I remember summer after senior year, I just graduated. I was wrestling my dad at some condo in Ocean City, Maryland, and I definitely beat him. And but that's not exactly the same as a fight. So I can't definitively say if we were in a fist fight that I would have beaten my dad in a fist fight when I was 18 years old. Probably not, if I had to wager. 21, a little iffy. That's up in the air. But luckily, I was moved out at that point. It didn't matter. But when I moved back into my parents' place when I was 26, it's unnatural. You're not supposed to live in a house with a man that can beat your ass. It fucks up the whole feng shui balance of a household. It's weird. It's not okay. It's not okay. All right? You can immediately tell that things were off. I had to get out of there. I was like, I can't live here. I can beat my dad's ass now. There's something, you're going to tell me what to do? No. But of course, I'm still doing shit he's telling me to do, knowing in the back of my 26-year-old mind I could beat his ass. What the hell is this? I need to be living in my own house with people who I can beat their ass legally. I don't think it's legal to beat anyone's ass, actually. But, I think some things are in bounds. But yeah, you just don't. It's kind of whatever. So that's fun. This is another fun video. This is more dope on Diddy. More Diddy dope. This is featuring everyone's favorite boxer. I mean, I think Mike Tyson might be everyone's favorite boxer. He has transcended into like just beloved person. This is him on a talk show. It might have been Arsenio Hall back in like what appears to be the 90s. He's sitting next to P. Diddy, and Diddy's got his hand. I'll play a video.
It truly is about the Benjamin.
Diddy's got his hand there, and Mike just casually.
Well, now when we come back, we're gonna
That's
talk
not
more
Arsenio
Puffy,
Hall.
and if you want to hang out, more than welcome to stick around, my
Montez
brother.
on there?
All right, we'll be right back with more.
Diddy's
right
like,
after
damn.
this.
Let's watch it again. He just casually just gets your hand, and then he moves over, looking at it. What the hell's going on?
Talk more with Puffy, and if you want to hang out, more than welcome to stick around, my brother. All right, we'll be right back.
And you
with
can
more
see
right
on
after
Diddy's
this.
face, he's like, yo, I totally just got caught. Yeah, I don't know what talk show that was. I wasn't being racist by saying Arsenio Hall. I feel like I remember somebody saying that. But that clearly was not Arsenio. I know what Arsenio looks like, all right? Yeah, that was well played by Mike. Definitely well played by Mike. Especially at that time. Like, I can't even, like, the gall. I'm sorry. Gay guys have some balls when it comes to that shit. Because there's kind of like, an assumption that when you're like sitting next to a dude, statistically, he's not gay. Like, there's more people that are straight than gay, right? So if you just pick any random dude out of a bunch, odds are he's not gay. Is that okay? Is this show gonna get taken down? Can we say these things? And I feel like sometimes certain gay guys kind of use that to their advantage, and it kind of enables them to kind of cross the line with you, more so than like, let's say if you were like talking to a girl, let's say this exact situation exists, and Mike Tyson, instead of being a world champion, all-time great boxer, is just like a hot chick. And she's sitting next to P. Diddy on the couch. And Diddy's got his hand on the couch, like right underneath her leg. The assumption there is this guy is like making inappropriate contact with me. He's a man. This is probably sexual. It's definitely not on accident. There's no way he doesn't notice that his hand is on my fucking leg on this talk show. There's no way he just, oh, what? This old thing? Oh, I didn't even notice. No. So you immediately would become uncomfortable. But if you're a dude, the assumption is there's no way this motherfucker is trying to rub my leg right now, is he? P. Diddy? You're trying, what? And Mike Tyson, he was just like, I don't know what's going on here, dude. I don't know why your hand's like that, but it needs to stop. And then his hand goes back down, and then Mike Tyson scoots over. Like, that's big time. That's big time. But those kind of things I've had certain gay guys like try to become friends with me, and I'm friends with many gay guys too, you know. But you can always kind of tell when you're being hit on versus when someone's like your boy, you know. I know the difference. And sometimes I feel like there's a little bit, look, this exists in all things. Guys do this a lot of times with girls. And honestly, like, it's kind of the more respectful way to go about it. You don't usually, it's not the appropriate thing to do to just walk straight up to a girl and say like, hey, you're super beautiful. I want to take you out sometime. Like, that'll kind of creep a girl out. You know, I know that they say like, oh, women like straightforward men. And it's like, yeah, to a point. Like, you obviously want a guy who's eventually gonna like make the move and express his interest in you and show his interest in you and, you know, ask you out or whatever. That's obviously an eventuality, but like not to the point where you just like, you know, if I'm playing a gig somewhere, right? Like, I play music for a living. If I just walk into a bar, there's a cute bartender, I can't just like go on my break, sit at the bar and be like, I really want to take you out sometime. I find you so attractive. Like, that's just weird. Like, dude, we've never spoke. You don't even know my name. Like, at least pretend that you're just talking to me for a second. And then if there's anything there, depending on how much is there will be a point when it may or may not be. There will be a point when it may be appropriate to ask me out. Whether or not I'll say yes is another thing. But like, at least at that point, it wouldn't be weird that you asked me out. So like guys and girls do that too. You don't immediately always let someone know that you're hitting on them unless you're like at a bar and everybody's drunk and you walk up and, hey, what's up? Yeah, can I buy you a drink? Like that. Okay, at that point, but that's like one of the few socially acceptable times to do that. And at the gym, at work, it's not really those times. So you kind of have to do this thing where you're like friend flirting and you slowly escalate. It's like, we're friends, we're buddies, we're just talking. I find you really, really interesting. Not that you're pretending. Hopefully you do find her interesting. If you're not shallow, and hopefully she finds you interesting and it's not just about the physical element, but like you kind of like see how you work just as two human beings, and then an opening may or may not arise to take it to the next level. I bring all this up because if you're a gay guy, sometimes you can kind of use that to your advantage and be like, hey man, let's get lunch. And it's like, you know, I'm this unassuming guy. I'm like, oh, this cool guy at the gym wants me to get lunch with him. That's not always how I wind up making friends. I don't normally just wind up doing, skull crushers next to a dude on the bench and he strikes up a conversation about my form. And then, and then next thing you know, it's like, yeah, like normally with guys, it's like, I want to put a number on it because I'm a numbers guy. And just for the sake of this conversation, I will put a number on it. And that number, I'm going to go with 3 minimum. 3 touches, not physical touches, but in sales, they say like it takes 9 touches in sales. You got to put your product in front of people's faces on average about 9 times before they actually think of you next time they actually need your service. Somebody might not need their windows replaced now, but if you've been dropping flyers on them, cold calling, things like that, when they eventually do need their windows replaced, they're gonna be like, oh yeah, what about that one company that we have that flyer for? Where's that flyer? Yeah, call them up, get a quote. That's how it kind of works in marketing and sales. And it's kind of the same in friendships. It's like you don't like meet a guy at the gym in like the first time, cold intro. And then, you talk for 5 minutes. Like, so you want to get a beer? It's like, slow down, dude. I'm not that kind of guy. I'm not just getting beers with any old Tom, Dick, and Harry that walks up to me and talks to me at the gym. I'm a classy man. But you see the guy at the gym next time, another conversation. Yeah, the fucking Ravens, man. I don't know what the hell we were thinking yesterday. Dude, I know. Dude, I fucking know. My friends were over. We were watching this shit. We could not believe he dropped that. I could not believe it. He's like, yeah, dude, I don't know what the fuck that was about. Anyway, man. All right, I'm going to go hit fucking chest. Okay, that's 2 touches. 3rd time. Hey, man, what's up? Good to see you, bro. You just get in? Yeah, I just got in. Shit, dude, I'm fucking hungover as hell. Oh, shit, what'd you do last night? Dude, I fucking went to my boy Brian's house. He told me we were going to fucking stay in. And the next thing you know, he's trying to meet up with some fucking girl. She's like, dude, let's go out. And I was like, oh, shit, whatever. I was in fucking sweats. Next thing you know, we're down in fucking Canton. Obviously, I'm there. Why not? We're doing shots. And I was just like, dude, I had to fucking Uber home. I had to drive back. I had to Uber back down there this morning, get my car, drive it back. Almost was late for work. It was fucking ridiculous. Dude, Jesus Christ. I know the feeling. Anyway, and then blah, 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 blah. It's like, anyway, dude, what the fuck? Oh, shit, you hang out in Canton? Yeah, man. What bar? Oh, shit, fucking Tim at Colada's? Yeah, dude, he's my fucking boy. Oh, shit, dude, we should fucking, what are you doing this weekend? We should fucking go. That's how guys become friends. It takes some time. So anyway, this guy approaches me at the gym and he immediately wants to get lunch. I was like, this is a little much, but I'm not going to assume the worst. And so anyway, the day comes and I bail out because I was busy, and being 2 normal straight men, it's like, dude, I got fucking caught up in the other. I was like, whatever, pussy. And then it's whatever. This guy calls me up and I'm like, what the fuck? So I didn't answer. And then I run into him at the gym and he's like, hey, can I talk to you for a second? I'm like, yeah. So we go into this back room and he's like, I thought we were friends. And, yesterday was my birthday and we had made plans and then I didn't hear anything from you, blah, blah, blah. I was like, all right, man, listen, I'm not going to lie. I actually was busy yesterday. Like, I couldn't make it. I didn't think it was a big deal. You didn't say it was your birthday. You just kind of like, we just casually mentioned like getting lunch or something, which, you know, I'm not going to lie, kind of threw me off a little bit from the jump. But regardless, like, you know, I kind of, at that point, the fact that I had to let the cat out of the bag for him, that's awkward for me. That's awkward for me to have to be the guy to insinuate that you're trying to fuck me. Don't make me be the guy that tells you you're trying to fuck me. You tell me you're trying to fuck me and we'll work from there. It's fine. I know how to work around these things. Don't make me be that guy. And so then he goes, Jimmy, I don't like you. Just like that. Just like that. Jimmy, I don't like you. Sounds a lot like you like me. That's exactly what a guy who likes me would say. And so that was that. He kind of, you know, gave me the cold shoulder for the remainder of when he was going to that gym. This is a couple years back. This story's pretty old now, but he said, like, I don't like you the way a girl would say I don't like you, because he said I don't like you as if liking me was on the table. If I accuse like one of my straight friends of liking me, like if I went up to like Eric, the other host on Live from the Studio podcast, and I was like, dude, I don't know, man. Look, I'm not like, we're cool and all, but like, I'm not like, and Eric's like, are you saying, like a normal straight guy would be like, do you think I fucking like you? What the fuck are you insane, dude? What is wrong with you? You think you think I like you? Are you serious? You think I want to fuck you? Dude, that's how a normal straight guy would, like, it is insane, out of this world concept. Like, I can't even imagine that. But he said it like, I mean, look, I could like you. I just don't. But then he also said it like, I definitely do like you. I just won't say. But yeah, man, you can get tricked for that sometimes. There's another guy at my gym now. And this guy's bigger than me. Well, actually, the other guy was bigger than me too. And that also adds an element to it as well, because in both situations, these guys were bigger than me. I'm not talking about some skinny young twink trying to go out to lunch. I'm talking about if we went out to lunch I don't know how exactly the gay dynamic in a relationship works, but I feel like I would have been the one. I feel like he would have been the one paying for the drinks. I feel like, you know, he would have been walking closer to the road. I feel like I would have been the bitch in that relationship, which did not sit well with me at all. That made me even more uneasy. I actually felt like a girl being pursued, because I was like, oh God, this guy definitely is into me. And if he wanted, he could have his way with me. I'm not saying all that. If it came to that, we'd have to run it. We'd have to run it and see what happens. But he was definitely bigger than me. And this guy is definitely even bigger than that guy was big. And he's definitely gay. I know this guy's gay. He's always giving me the gay eyes in the gym. I'll be doing I'm not going to lie. I kind of slut it up at the gym sometimes. I wear the sleeveless. I get it. Hey, man, look, you want to look at me? I'm not going to blame you. I'd prefer if you were that chick in the green shorts over there making eyes at me in the mirror. But if it's you, hey, you know what? There's enough for everybody. So I'm in the mirror, in the gym, not in the mirror. I happen to be in the mirror doing some lifts and stuff. And this guy's making eyes at me. The exact eyes that I make at that chick over there when she's not looking. But I know what to be aware of. And I see him and he sees me and he doesn't care. He doesn't even care that I just caught him looking at me like that. Next thing you know, we're in the locker room. As many of you know, I've been living at the studio recently. I am what I like to call in between places. I didn't say how long, but I am in between places. I had a place, and I eventually will have a place. And And I'm here. You are here. I am here. In between places. And so I shower at the gym. It works out perfectly. I shower every day. Or every day during the week, that is. If I'm not going to cap. I work out Monday through Friday. And so I'm in the locker room, and this guy is also showering, getting ready to shower. And he decides to he's at the locker right next to me and just gets completely naked. Now, I know that it's a men's locker room. I'm naked in there sometimes. That is one thing I'm like, I get it now. When I was a kid, I was like, what is up with these old men just being naked all the time? What's going on with that? But now that I, am a grown man, I'm like, dude, I'm getting fucking naked. Get over it. All right? You got a problem with that? You got a fucking problem with me being naked? It's a men's locker room. And I got to take a shower. You want to shower with underwear on? So I get that. So maybe I'm being a little presumptuous here, but I couldn't help but notice that the same guy who was giving me eyes in the gym, in the actual gym, is now directly next to me in the locker room, butt-ass naked. Jacked. Not gonna lie, from what I saw in my peripheral, he had nothing to be ashamed of, and I'm sitting there thinking, oh God. He is totally trying to get me to see him naked. Like, he's definitely... You know what would be funny? If this entire situation is in my head, and I'm just imagining that every dude at the gym is trying to fuck me. I can't even go into LA Fitness anymore. Every dude in there is trying to fuck me. Stay away, dudes. No, I don't want to fuck you. As a matter of fact, I do not. And every dude's like, dude, relax. None of us are trying to fuck you. Yeah. That's what somebody who was trying to fuck me would say. No, but seriously, I'm not on here assuming every dude in the world is trying to fuck me, but this guy was definitely trying to fuck me, and he was definitely naked next to me, and it was a little aggressive. Because the dynamic is shifted when there's a sexual element. If there's a 65, 70, 80-year-old man walking around the gym, and it's just a guy with a wife and two kids in college, and he's walking around with his dick hanging out, that's just what men do. It's a locker room. What am I going to be a bitch and be like, hey, excuse me, can you put on a towel, please? No. It's a men's locker room. That's what goes on. But the assumption is, look, we're all in here. We're all men. Nobody's looking at anybody's dick, thinking about what it looks like hard. Nobody's trying to fuck anybody. We're just men. We're shaving. We're shitting. We're showering. We're going home. And I think this guy, I mean, look, that's a massive advantage. Okay, that is a massive advantage if you're gay. You get to be in the men's locker room. You get to be in the locker room of the sex you'd like to fuck. I'm not trying to say anything like, oh, they shouldn't be allowed in the locker. I'm not saying that at all. I'm a grown man. I dealt with it. It wasn't anything to deal with. It's just a funny story. Let's be real here. It's a funny story. And it is thought-provoking, I think. My thoughts are being provoked. But the dynamic, when there is now a sexual element, when you are a person who is sexually attracted to other people that are walking around naked in your proximity, that's a lot different than just the normal dynamic of just a bunch of straight guys walking around with their dicks hanging out sometimes and nobody cares. Like, imagine if I just, for one reason or another, got dressed in the woman's locker room. And imagine if, it was perfectly normal for me to just happen to have a locker next to the fucking girl that goes the same time as me every day that I have somewhat of a crush on. And I could just happen to get completely naked because I'm going to shower and she's naked too. Like, you can't do that. That's a whole different thing. And I think that's very similar to what I experienced. I am a victim. No, I'm not saying all that. But the point is, look, it is what it is. This is the world we live in, and I don't mind it. I don't mind it at all. I don't mind it one bit. It gives me stuff to talk about. Folks, today is Friday. We touched upon a couple things. I'm very happy with today's episode. It's nice to just kind of lay back and just talk about a bunch of shit as opposed to serious shit and all that, whatever. So thanks for tuning in for yet another week's worth of Daily Show installments. We have new content here every day, Monday through Friday, for the Daily Edition with me, Jimmy Selesky, and LFTS podcast with myself and Eric Glazer on the weekends. So that is up to 6 days of content every week. Hard to beat that. Hard to beat that. So if you want to find us again, I cannot recommend enough that you hit the subscribe button so you can see when we release new content. Throw us a like, leave us a comment, leave us your thoughts, whatever you think. And, we'll see you again soon. Have a great weekend at LFTS Podcast across the board. Until next time, folks, peace.